Hello everyone, my name is Joshua and this is the 198th video of my video journal series. Today's date is Tuesday, the 25th of August 2026. How's everyone been? I've been pretty good, thank you. And today I went into uni. Obviously I go to uni on Tuesdays, pretty busy day. I actually got to meet with my friends afterwards. I got to meet up with some of my old high school friends. We had a sort of like get together, and we walked around, my campus for a bit. Then we, did a few things in the city, and then we parted our ways. But then, not too long after, once we all got home, we all booted up our computers and we played this party game called Jackbox, which, for those who don't know, Jackbox is this party game on a PC. I believe other platforms as well, but we just play it on PC. Where it's a bunch of like party mini games that you can play with your friends, and it's really really fun. We got a few of the Jackbox games. I don't have any, but you only need one person to own the game, then the rest can join with like a code, so then they can play the mini games, which is like the sort of magic. It's like inviting people over to play on the one video game console where you just got multiple controllers. But the good thing about Jackbox is that you can play it remotely through Discord, which is what we did. So one person just booted up the game on Steam, displayed their feed on Discord. We just typed in the code to join in the game, and it's really fun. And I really love playing party games and games with friends. I'm really big into you know that sort of games and that side of gaming because it's really fun. Just like playing an extremely competitive game with your friends. It could just be like you know something like Jackbox, or it could even be, Mario Kart. I know Mario Kart can get like quite heated and quite competitive, and it's always, fun just seeing other people's reactions. But, I really wish we could, play these sorts of Jackbox games in person. I know it does well, over Discord, but, nothing beats playing a party game in person. And I'm very much a party game sort of guy. And yeah, I just obviously I had a good time. Obviously, I had to hop off the call so that I could record this video journal series. But yeah, it was a very fun time. And it's really rare that I could gather all my friends, available, even if it's just online, to play a quick game because everyone's so busy. Everyone's got uni, everyone's got work, and we actually had like a pretty big group on the voice call tonight. It was we and like six other people, which is insane. Six other friends, uh, so it was kind of a miracle that we even got to play tonight together. But that sort of thing only comes around every couple of so months. Maybe during holidays, but even then, people are always so busy during holidays. But yeah, party games. I'm also very much interested in board games as well. When you play board games or card games or those simple, I guess, um, tabletop games at like birthday parties or events. I love them. One of my favorites, I think I stated before on this channel, and sorry if my voice doesn't sound completely normal. I think my voice is still trying to recover from my illness. But um, yeah, I remember playing this one game called uh, what was it called? Was it called Coup? I think that's what it was called. Coup. Um, and it's a little bit hard for me to describe that game, but basically, you can win the game by lying. It's one of those games where you sort of lie to gain an advantage, but people can call you out on your bluff and you get penalized for it. Um, and you basically are given like two roles, and what you have to do is keep those roles secret, obviously, but you try to accumulate all these like coins or like tokens throughout the game, and depending on what role you have, uh, you can alter your sort of chances of winning or your performance throughout the play. But you don't need to abide by those roles. You can bluff and say, "Oh, I have this role," when really you don't, but yet you utilize that role's ability, and someone catches you out, doing that sort of thing. Uh, you get penalized, but if they're wrong, they get penalized. And I know that seems like an extremely simple explanation of coup. It does take some while getting used to, but it's one of those games where if you lie convincingly, if you put on your poker face, and if you don't do any sort of like suspicious actions throughout the game, you could win easily. But if you do something that you're not like supposed to, someone can call you out for it, and you get penalized. Which is why I like Coup, and it's a very intuitive game once you get into it. And obviously, if we're just stretching into like board games or other party games, Monopoly comes to mind. Though Monopoly, you'll never finish Monopoly in a single sitting. I love Monopoly, but there's no way I could finish it at like a single party. You just got to keep the board out there for like a few more months, so that next time when everyone's available, you can come back and play it again. You know, and it's rare that you can get like even four people in one room to play a board game for like a few hours straight. So yeah, I think Monopoly fun, but it takes too long. Which is why I just like those like quick games, like tabletop games. I guess not like tabletop in the conventional sense, but like card games, um, quick games. Um, which is why I like mini games like like I said, Jackbox Party Pack. Uh, the Mario Party mini games, right? It's been a while since I played Mario Party, but everyone's at least known about Mario Party. You know, I love playing mini games with my friends, and you know just seeing get everyone's reactions and trying to get use of the controls, and just like standing up from your seat and trying to like block the other person's view. Same thing with Mario Kart as well, but that's not really like a mini game. That's more like a multiplayer game that you play with your friends. Um, but yeah, party games, mini games. They're really really fun. And I think why is because obviously it's really rare that you can gather a whole bunch of your friends all together in the same place, and all of them have like you know the ability to I guess play that game and understand the controls and mechanics. um, and I guess it's something that you really do like every birthday, or maybe like Christmas, or special events or special function. So yeah, it's an event in of itself. It's an experience in of itself, and yeah, I think tonight was one of those nights. Um, even if it was just over the internet, and I feel like you know, without like just playing those games by yourself, right? Not that you can, but playing those games by yourself or with a AI bot doesn't really feel the same, does it? Sure, you could play like you know technically, I guess you could play Mario Party by yourself if you just like take every turn, but yet again, it doesn't feel good. The whole point about Mario Party is to win over others, to win over your friends. Same thing with like every other multiplayer game. Mario. I mean, with Mario Kart, you can race the AI, but you want to race against your friends, show your friends you are the best, that you're ahead of them. uh, same with Jackbox Party Pack. I guess, nothing's stopping you from playing against AI if you somehow develop like an AI sort of chat, like bot system for that game, because I don't think you can play that single player. But yet again, it wouldn't be the same, all right? It wouldn't be the same. Uh, you know, it's just something's missing. You take away the human element, you take away the human surprise, emotions, and all of that, and it doesn't quite feel the same. So that's why I think, uh, there's always going to be, like, I guess, a demand for multiplayer and party box games, and I will be like one of the, I guess, things that really bring people together, especially when it comes to gaming. Because nowadays, if you want to play multiplayer, you mostly do it online. I think these sorts of party games is what attracts people to play games in person. Um, Nowadays, you know, which I think is yet again a good thing. I like it, and I guess to really end off this video. Yeah, today, obviously, a lot of work in the mornings and afternoon, hopping between classes and all that. But at least I got to end the day on a good note, playing some uh, party games with my friends, uh, and having a good time, even if it's online, and being able to speak with each other. Even when I saw my friends in person today, when we were walking around my university campus, it was great just to be able to see them. And, we were like, hey, it's rare that we get together like this. Why don't we just, spend our time here, but when we get home, we can play Jackbox, because, I want to continue the conversation. I want to continue, uh, our sort of interaction. I know that's a weird term to use around a friend, bonding, or that's another weird term. It's rare that I get to see my high school friends now, but whenever I do, I try and stay with them as long as possible. Even if it's through a video game, which I think party games do a really good job at. Bringing friends together and sometimes tearing apart relationships. Mario Kart can get quite brutal. Same with Monopoly and all of that. But yeah, I guess forecast for the rest of this week, sorry, is just working on assignments, like I said, finishing off some schoolwork, and I can't believe it's already Tuesday. Tomorrow's gonna be Wednesday. Wednesday is already halfway through the weekday. So yeah, time does fly, and I think I'm in week 5 of uni right now, which is, yeah, like nearly halfway through this semester, which, yeah, it does seem absurd. Um, and I guess, that's what happens when you only go into uni like one day a week. The rest of the days like sort of fly by, but I'm trying to keep control of it, and obviously, uh, you know, plan things, maybe plan another get together with my high school friends. But yet again, there's other things I'm gonna do in life, and unfortunately, right now, my life seems to get like a little bit busy. Especially when I was sick for those last couple of days, I held a lot of things off, and now things are coming back, and obviously I have less time to do things. But hopefully, I can still squeeze in. Um, some bonding time with my friends, get-togethers every couple of months or so. And if you're watching this video, I'd like to hear, what are some of your favorite party games. It could be video games or board games or card games. Oh, I'd like to hear. And nothing beats a good old party game. Um, Jackbox or otherwise, because it gives you bonding time with your friends, gives you a good laugh, and gives you a memory. Uh, Something that you really can't get from, I guess, like that very distinct memory. That very distinct bondage with friends that you can't really get with like a single player game. I reckon. But anyway, that's enough of me talking, so I gotta like rest my throat. So sorry if this video seems a little bit lackluster, but I guess I'll catch you all tomorrow. Bye, see you, take care. Have a great one. Bye.